I think that this is a great forum. Really, CPC did a fantastic job of bringing together a large number of thinkers, both from the private sector, from the NGO community, and my part, from government.
It's really exciting to be here to see so many people from so many different countries across the region. I think that's really an important start for ways in which we can build greater connectivity between these countries, is get people here in Washington together from the different countries in one room talking about the common challenges. So yeah, it's really thrilling. There's an exciting atmosphere here.
It makes me happy to observe that more countries are interested, more people are interested, and it became a brand already. And when it's April and May, we already started becoming nervous that is it going to happen, and why we are not engaged if we are not, and then we know that it's happening, and it's extremely good to be here. It's very good platform because we're hearing, even myself, I was hearing the things which I took note that I have to read, I have to learn more, and thanks to Caspian Policy for that.
I think this forum really benefits both the region and the United States by increasing the information about the region here in the United States and increasing exchange between the region and the United States.
I think there's also just making sure that the people who all work together here in the region, in Washington, out in the region, can come together, share impressions, share stories, really builds that community of interest, and that's going to be key as we look forward to increasing the integration of the Caspian region and the connections with the United States.
And of course, it's an opportunity for US to hear from us from the ground what are our expectations. As I said, my message was that yes, Azerbaijan has very interesting geopolitics, so we have very interesting neighborhood and this kind of things which when people hear that the decision makers, policy makers, it's extremely important. So this kind of platforms, I strongly believe that there should be more of them.
And then for the United States, this is another way for us to build our relationships with each of these different countries, and I think we also benefit when they trade more with each other. It's all something that kind of builds on itself, so definite benefit to the United States as well.
It's quite business focused, it's dynamic, and it's pragmatic, and I think that the overall results are achieved fully and completely.
This forum is our landmark event that serves to increase connectivity, corridors and cooperation in the Caspian region and Central Asia, while enhancing strategic economic ties with the United States. This year, we are honored to see high-level attendance from US government and 7 countries of the region. After a quarter century of independence, the states of the South Caucasus and Central Asia increasingly are eager to develop corridors, connectivity, and cooperation among themselves to link their infrastructures, their economies, and their peoples that will further enhance their own independence. With other major players on the global stage like China showing keen interest and sometimes concern, the strategic opportunities for the United States have grown significantly in recent years, presenting both challenges and new opportunities. With this Trans-Caspian Forum, we are pleased to present a venue to bring together business leaders, foreign policy experts, and government officials from the United States and the countries of the region to explore new directions and identify new opportunities.
There is great potential to strengthen partnerships between the U.S. and the countries of the Trans-Caspian region. This region has been an indispensable transit route for thousands of years, used by the original global merchant Marco Polo himself. It is well positioned, both geographically and culturally, to be a strategic passage and corridor between continents for merchants. In the past, they carried spices and textiles. Today, they might have laptops and mobile phones. The route remains just as important. A perfect example of this is Georgia's Anaklia Deep Water Port project, which will greatly increase commerce by sea. Georgia and the U.S. are currently working together to build this port, which would handle up to 10,000 TEU vessels. The project is planned to be operational by December 2020. When the port is finished, it will grow Georgia's economy, make Georgia an even stronger trading partner with the United States, and provide greater connectivity between Europe and the entire Caspian region. We also see great potential for regional economic cooperation between the Caspian nations. In conjunction with the private sector, we will continue to drive economic connectivity throughout the region. We see many opportunities for broader economic relationships with the U.S. American companies are best suited to build modern, secure, and reliable infrastructure and implement advanced information and communication technology systems. Along with infrastructure development, we would like to see greater energy security. Competitively realizing the region's abundant resource potential will ultimately enable consumers to pay less for the energy that they use every day. An example of success in natural resources are the South Caucasus and Trans-Anatolian natural gas pipelines, a big part of the $40 billion project bringing gas from the Caspian Sea to European energy markets. Some of the countries here today played a key role in developing this significant energy project. Gas is now flowing to Turkey via the Southern Gas Corridor, and we look forward to the completion of the Trans-Adriatic pipeline, which will extend to Italy. There is tremendous potential for further expansion of this pipeline with additional gas from Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, and the Eastern Mediterranean. The U.S. supports energy projects which create reliable access to resources.
Bordering China, Russia, Afghanistan, and Iran, the Caspian Sea region is located at the intersection of several key geopolitical interests of the U.S. government. As part of our efforts to demonstrate commitment to the region, we have worked to create platforms for engagement between the U.S. and the 5 Central Asian republics, as well as the 3 Caucasus republics. Through both our bilateral and our regional efforts, the countries are able to address common challenges related to security, economic connectivity, and the environment. Our economic development efforts provide alternatives for countries that want to avoid conditional economic engagements and debt-laden development practices. Our private sector investments improve people's lives and strengthen the sovereignty and independence of these developing countries. The U.S. government's regional connectivity programs are aimed at supporting greater regional trade to enhance economic growth and reduce dependence on external actors. We see tremendous potential for deeper and more substantive economic relationships between the U.S. and businesses in the extended Caspian Sea region. Each of these countries is in the process of undertaking their own economic and fiscal reforms in order to be competitive in global markets. The various restructuring efforts hold the promise of building solid foundations for further economic growth and partnership. The Caspian Sea region is once again becoming a critical intra-regional trade center, reestablishing Silk Road trade routes between Europe and Asia. I am confident that the encouragement of energy corridors and deeper trade and investment opportunities between all of our countries will yield more jobs and prosperity for American, Caucasus, and Central Asian citizens.
In 2018, total trade between the U.S. and the Trans-Caspian Forum countries was more than $25 billion. Last year, U.S. exports to these 7 countries were approximately $13 billion, up more than 7% from 2017. American companies in the region are pursuing business opportunities in a variety of sectors, growing sectors in aerospace, transportation and logistics, energy, and defense. With this in mind, it should come as no surprise that the Commerce Department truly wishes to be actively engaged with all of our local partners and take this relationship truly to the next level. Last October, Secretary Ross made his first visit to Central Asia, visiting Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, meeting with the presidents of both countries. Bilateral trade between the United States and both countries continued to increase. Whether the project be related to pipelines, airport development, or agriculture, the Department of Commerce, alongside our interagency colleagues here today, stand ready to assist U.S. companies and our foreign counterparts increase the economic ties that have been established. In many cases, American companies are already involved in significant projects, many of whom you have worked with, like the Southern Gas Corridor, oil field in Kazakhstan, and the Anaklia Deepwater Port Complex in Georgia. Here, I should note that as a result of the recent BUILD Act legislation, which is terrific and outstanding news, the U.S. government's Development Finance Agency has been updated considerably. You've heard a little bit about this throughout the day. Know that the commercial service, my team, my 1,400 people, are working hand in hand with OPIC to match up those opportunities with opportunities that you find not only are ready to move forward, but are important to your countries. In closing, I really want to reiterate that the Department of Commerce and the International Trade Administration are here to assist U.S. companies learn more about the export and investment opportunities available in foreign markets, represented here in the audience today, as you also engage with those in the region that would like to expand their presence here in the U.S. market. We also stand ready to do that. As I always say, no one country nor no one company can single-handedly solve some of the technological challenges or infrastructure challenges on the horizon, and we stand ready to partner on many of these opportunities in the near future. I hope you will see us as a resource that can make your work easier. Thank you again to our friends for hosting this important forum, and I look forward to engaging with many of you here in the coming weeks and months.
I think that this version of the forum just keeps building on the successes that CPC has been able to do with these forums over the years. So I really think it's an incredibly important venue to bring together a range of people interested in the region, and frankly to introduce the region to far too many people who don't quite understand it. CPC, I think, has done the same thing over the past number of years. Having a dedicated institution that can really focus on integration of the Caspian region is something that has been needed for a while, and something that I know we at BP, and I think all of us who do work in the Caspian region, are very excited about.